Hi everyone, I know it's been a minute, but I want to introduce you to the baby chameleons that I'm keeping from the Neptune and Venus clutches. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So I've been very busy, obviously, with the podcast, repping my merch right now, as well as raising all the baby chameleons. Plus I've got a day job and other responsibilities and things like that. But I am very excited to let you know that I have decided on which babies I'm keeping and their names. So first up we have Triton, spelled Triton, Triton. And that is one, if you've been following me on social media, Instagram, you name it, then you've seen posted quite a few times. He's the very first baby that hatched from the very first clutch. I knew if he was a male and had a good temperament, he was gonna stay with me. The name Triton is very special because Triton is the first moon discovered from the planet Neptune. It's also the largest moon out of all of Neptune's moons. And so it's just very special because obviously Neptune's the dad, Triton was the first baby. He was also one of the biggest babies. And so it just is a name that's very near and dear to my heart. And it's one of those, like, if you know, you know. So Triton has a great personality. He is very much likes to be like kept to himself and will definitely like scurry in his enclosure or get a little bit defensive. But once you get him out and he's like, oh, this is fine, this is chill. And who's been in all of my like watch a chameleon grow up transformations. If you've seen him from like 1 day old, he's over a year old now. And so he's great. What's cool about him is that he's a blue bar, yellow body, ambilobi. Very different from Neptune, who is like a classic red bar ambilobi. So Triton is very blue bars. He also has a very prominent, what do they call it, a rostral, very prominent nose. It's very pointy, and it makes me giggle when everyone says he looks like Neptune, because I think he has a completely different ambilobi look than Neptune does. He loves his bugs, has a great appetite, will literally eat anything I throw at him. His favorites though are black soldier flies. By far, he loves hunting those down and sniping them. So definitely keeping him. He's been a member named for quite some time now, probably around like 4 or 5 months old when I for sure knew he was a male. So Triton is from the first clutch and the only baby from the first clutch that I'm keeping. Next up, I want to introduce you to Rocket. Rocket is a male from the second clutch of babies. I had 2 clutches, 2 months apart, so he's 2 months younger than Triton is. I wanted to stick with the outer space theme without being like just planets or like, you know, stars and things. So broadening just a little bit. Rocket has the classic like marshmallow chameleon personality. So ever since he was a little baby, once he was probably like 5-6 months old, he would want to come out of his enclosure. He was just like constantly like pawing at the front, and then like was super chill whenever I was cleaning their enclosures, and I would put my hand in there and he would come running out, or I'd open the door and he'd come running out. He's just like very adventurous and wants to explore and check things out. Sometimes when your chameleon does that, it's because their care is not correct. Obviously not the case, because I've had all these babies under the same care and he's been thriving, but he's just very curious, I think is the best way to put it, and is not nervous, is very confident, just like very mild temperament. The only time I've seen him puff up is if my phone is near him, which is like very reasonable, totally understand. Otherwise he is super chill. And so it's been really fun for me to see him in his big boy enclosure, the 2x4. It took him probably a month or so to get like situated, and I very much like left him alone, would feed him, leave him. And then about a month and a half into it, he started like exploring more and like coming towards the front, and I was like, oh, are you gonna like keep that same personality trait? And sure enough, I stuck my hand nearby and he like slowly climbed on, which was really special. And then once he's out, he's like super curious, just wants to climb around and explore. So he's been a lot of fun to have. He has a very similar head shape to Neptune, slightly different bars. His bars don't come all the way through, one kind of like stops halfway. He's definitely a red bar ambilobi, so red bar, yellow bodied, and he's just like really starting to see his yellows come through. He is almost a year old, just about, and so I'm very excited to see his full colors come through. He also has a voracious appetite, which is always a good sign of a healthy chameleon. So he'll eat, you know, his superworms, his dubia roaches, his crickets, hornworms. He loves sniping the flies, like literally anything. Like, he's not a picky eater whatsoever. So I was like, all right, you're sticking around. So that is Rocket. Now, I said in the beginning that what I was going to do was like keep one baby from the first clutch, one baby from the second clutch. Well, I'm keeping a third. So the third and final one that I'm keeping is Saturn. He's the last baby that I'll be keeping. He's in the same clutch as Rocket, so they're both second clutch babies. So they're like, I mean, they're all brothers, but they're like clutch mates, you know, extra tight. So Saturn, to me, is like a mini Neptune. And so he's a little bit more defensive. Like when I put his food cup in there, he gets a little like, you know, puff up, gapey. Also a great eater. He has his like favorite spots and branches. It's really special because he's in Neptune's old enclosure, and so it just kind of like is a very full circle moment for me. He's still half blue bar, half red bar. I think he's probably gonna go red bar, but time will tell. He's the same age as Rocket, so just at a year old, so still more color development and growing to do. I would say his colors are a little bit behind Rocket. Like Rocket has more of the bright ambelobies that we typically see in the adults and his yellows coming through. Saturn doesn't quite have his yellows coming through yet, so fingers crossed that he becomes a beautiful chameleon that represents his dad, Neptune. I appreciate having like a little bit of a feisty personality, and honestly, like between having Rocket, who's like super chill and wants to come out, and then Triton, who's like totally fine once he's out of his enclosure, like I don't mind having a little bit of a spicier chameleon. Venus is not a chameleon that I would handle often, so like not a big deal for me to just kind of leave them alone, do their thing. That's who Neptune was, and I was totally fine with that. So he's got a great appetite. I think he has more of the classic envelope head shape that Neptune had, which I think is also what makes it easy for me to kind of like see him as a mini Neptune. They both went through sheds recently, so they're rocking their brightest, most vibrant colors at the moment. So I obviously have Triton, Rocket. Triton's like a moon. Rocket's obviously like a rocket ship, outer space. And so I did want to have one planet name, and since Saturn to me is the closest representation of a mini Neptune, it felt fitting for him to have a planet name. So that's where I went with that. It's also been really special. A lot of the people who have been getting the babies from these clutches have been keeping outer space names as well. I know there's a Nova out there. There's a Hubble from like, you know, the little Hubble ship. Oh, I can see it. You guys see Rocket right here? It's coming to the front. That's what I'm telling you. He's just like that and has been that way since he's little. People are like, oh, you know, chameleons are this or chameleons are, it really comes down to the individual, truly. And what's been so special, because I only had the two clutches, I know all of their individual personalities very, very well, and got to see them grow up, and like the ones that were defensive, like as teeny tiny peanuts, versus the ones that were confident, and then as they get older, kind of like seeing it adjust and change. Look at him here. Well done. One moment. See if it'll come out. There you go. There you go. This is Rocket. Like I said, you can see his yellows coming through, but his bar, you can see, oh, don't go in my hair. Let you guys see up close. His bar right here, like doesn't come all the way through. It just kind of has like that little bit that's missing. So, and you can see it's kind of like a mix of red and blue, but when he gets fired up, it's definitely more red. So I think it'll turn red eventually, but yeah. His head also reminds me a lot of Neptune. So there you guys have it. I want to introduce you guys to the crew. So we've got Rocket here, his brother Saturn, and then his other brother Triton, who's just a little bit older, and that'll round out all the babies. I still have a couple of females left. All of the males have gone off to their new homes, so if you're interested, I don't anticipate breeding in the near future. or who knows if ever again. It was a lot of work. And feel free to check out my debrief videos that I've done on that so far. But as always, you can follow me and all my chameleons on social media at Neptune the Chameleon. Feel free to check out my website, neptunethechameleon.com. That's where you can apply for the last few babies. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Otherwise, subscribe so you know when I post a new video. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Say bye. There you guys have it. I wanted to intro you guys. There you guys have it. I wanted to intro words.